Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode 32 in the book of Genesis. Today, sin still crouches. Resonate with me about that. This is from Genesis chapter 4, verse 7. We'll find today that the Lord is going to offer Cain, who is tempted, a way of escape. Every temptation has a way out, and every sin has a way back. So the Lord is right here to make some judgments on stuff that he likes and doesn't like. It's called his regard. The Lord has regard or doesn't have regard for certain things. The way he looks at a situation is absolutely correct. In fact, he's the one that gets to define what's good and bad, what's holy, what's not. So Cain has the first crack at this, and he's found wanting at the end of the story. But he starts the story with him thinking that he's got this right, that he's pleasing the Lord by this sacrifice that he brings. But then the Lord gives his attention to it. He gives his assessment. And then the beauty of this story, I think, is that the Lord gives a correction. Cain doesn't take it. So listen with me and see how Cain drops the ball. Genesis chapter 4, verse number 3. In the course of time, Cain, the older son, brought to the Lord an offering of the fruit of the ground. And Abel also brought of the firstborn of his flock and of their fat portions. And the Lord had regard for Abel and his offering, but for Cain and his offering he had no regard. So Cain, here's his chance, was very angry, and his face fell. And the Lord said to Cain, "Why are you angry, and why is your face fallen? If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin is crouching at the door. Its desire is contrary to you, but you must rule over it." You have a chance here. So the Lord is right to like things and not like things. One of the things he says he doesn't like here, he doesn't like a grouchy giver, and maybe he doesn't like grain offerings. Perhaps they're not valuable enough, or he didn't bring enough of them. It doesn't specifically say. Perhaps it's because it doesn't pre-glorify Jesus, which is this blood sacrifice that the Lord was going to teach the people that a blood sacrifice is going to be required, and this is kind of the first lesson there. But the Lord is generous to Cain here. He offers him a way out of this. He offers him a way back. And then, of course, Cain is a good example of being a bad example. So Cain receives the correction of the Lord. It's one of the greatest moments in human history, I said yesterday. That is, he gets to commit a correctable mistake. He doesn't correct it, but it is correctable. The Lord tells him, you can change here. You can do the right thing. Of note, his parents, Adam and Eve, committed a non-correctable mistake. That wasn't in their option to fix it. But the Lord says to Cain here, you can be accepted if you do this right. So you can do the right thing. I'm giving you a free will. You can rule over this desire that sin has, and you can have dominion here. The Lord is giving Adam and Eve and the creation dominion over other aspects of creations. But then he warns them. He says, but sin, it's ready to get you. It's ready to pounce on you. It wants you. It desires to have you. This is not a threat neutral environment. This is a situational threat that you are facing here. And the Lord gives Cain a heads up and said, hey, here's what's happening right now. Sin is not going to leave you alone. It's coming for you. It's crouching at your door if you do the wrong thing. And you can do, the hope with the story is, you could have done what is necessary. And there's a challenge point here. That is, Cain, you have an opportunity to do this right, to subdue this sin, and to be its master. You have everything you need. So the Lord's expectation for Cain is do what's right, be accepted internally because you represent it by what you do externally. You can do well here. And Cain could have ruled over this. The Lord is saying, look, I'm asking you, commanding you to fight here. Don't refuse my activity here. I'm giving you dominion over this area. I'm giving you dominion over the earth and the animals. Now I want you to have dominion over this particular sin here, which is a temptation either to be Lord or Lord over his brother. And with the Lord, capital L, I can be Lord over, or master, small l, I can rule over sin. So with the Lord, I can be Lord over sin. What's Cain's response, however? It's initially, he's very angry. His face fell. The Lord gives him an opportunity, but it's as if he sets his resolve here. that he doesn't want to resist temptation. He doesn't want to resist sin. He resists the Lord. What does he resist? He resists the Lord's merciful attention and his graceful offering of restoration. He resists the Lord's help at this line in the sand that has been made. So he resists the call to be right with God and right with his brother. Verse 8 here, which we didn't get to. Cain spoke to Abel, his brother, and when they were in the field, Cain, our star of the show here today, he rose up against his brother Abel and killed him. So in conclusion here, terrible story today. Sin still crouches at our door. Sin's desire is still for us. Sin's desire is contrary against us. But we can rule over it. We can master it. And the question I leave you with is, where is your battleground? So the Lord makes a line and he says, I expect you to fight here. And you can have, and the good news is, you can have success here. You can do this right. Your fight is here. So perhaps it's what you do with your time, or maybe it's what you do with your health or your service or your fellowship in the church, or maybe it's what you do with your zipper or what you do with your tongue or your thoughts or your pride. And with the Lord, the positive statement here is, I can be Lord and master and ruler over sin. And every temptation has a way out. Every sin has a way back. So sin still crouches, but the Lord says, I will help you. Let me help you there. You can do better. Thanks for listening.